Hey, my name's Sean. Welcome to Echoes in Eternity Bourbon. Are you ready for some football?
There was more Marino again from the shotgun. Again looking for Irving Fryer. Again another touchdown. This one would finish off the Patriots. Dan Marino, raise your hands if you're sure.
I am so stoked. Not only did my Auburn Tigers kick off last weekend, we got the Bears of California this upcoming Saturday. It'll be a late one after Baker's drinks, but NFL kicks off tonight. So I'm doing this on Wednesday night. It'll come out Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, first NFL game. Looking forward to it. I am an NFL junkie. Love college football. Love fantasy football. If it has something with football in it, I'm probably involved in it. Absolutely love it. Looking forward to it. So I hope if you have fantasy teams, I hope your teams do fantastic. I hope your teams do great all year, except if you're playing one of my teams. Other than that, I hope your teams stay healthy and you guys have a fantastic year. So in the comments, let me know what teams you're rooting for. Doesn't matter, college, pro, both. Put them in there. I'd like to see where they're putting their allegiance at now before the season gets too deep. I don't want to see bandwagon fans later. So put them in the comments now. Part of my best whiskeys of Nevada, I'm putting up Smoke Wagon, putting them right up to bat versus Frey Ranch. So I've done a few of these. I'll do probably one more after this, and then I'm going to do a blind to see which one is going to take the great state of Nevada. This bottle right here, Frey Ranch, this is, I think, a farmer's cut is what this is. So this is the farm strength uncut straight bourbon whiskey from Frey Ranch. This is the cask strength coming in at 122.28 proof. This was a gift from Whiskey Wisdom. Picked this up a couple of weeks now. Thank you so much, Matt. Truly appreciate it. Looking forward to trying this out. I've got also a sample from Matt that he's made me swear that when I nose that sample, I need to put this there with it to get my reaction of that. So I'll make sure I have that, and that'll be part of the Nevada, the great state of Nevada blind to see who's going to win the great state of Nevada. This is a bourbon, a 4-grain bourbon. Looking forward to trying this out, see what we got. For those that don't know, Frey Ranch has been growing their own grains for over 100 years now. They're, grain to bottle. I had some interesting comments back and forth of, is Smoke Wagon truly a Nevada bourbon? Because they do source and stuff like that. But it's like anything else, I guess. In Vegas specifically, I think it's kind of funny because Nevadans really didn't make Vegas who it was. It was kind of the East Coast that made Vegas who it was. But we're still proud Nevadans that are there. But then to see how this fares out tonight. Looking forward to it. It's been a lot of fun. Baker's Drinks on Saturday night, going over ASW. Whiskey Wisdom on Friday night. I'm sure I'll pop on to at least say hello to everyone there. Matt does a fantastic job there. Interested to see what kind of guests he has. Football all weekend. Looking forward to that. So let's get into it. Let's see what this has. This should be like right in my wheelhouse. 122 proof. This does have a nice bouquet on the nose, and Matt was telling me the other sample that I have is going to blow this away. But I'm getting a lot of oak. I'm getting kind of a malt thing going on, getting some chocolate going on. I'm getting a lot of tobacco on the nose on this too. Not overly sweet, kind of more of a savory bourbon I'm kind of getting here. So I'm not getting a whole lot of like the deep rich caramels or something overly sweet. I'm getting more of a deep brown sugar for the sugars on it. It's very viscous. Got long legs coming streaming down the side on this. So I'm expecting a good mouthfeel, but I am getting a lot more savory than I am sweet on this, which is kind of intriguing me up the front up here. Let's see what we got. This is kind of an unusual flavor profile for a bourbon, at least for me. And it may be because it's 4-grain, but I'm picking up a lot of the characteristics of the malt on this. I'm getting some of the rye on it, getting some of the pepper, getting some of the maltiness, not getting a whole lot of the sweetness that you'd get, kind of the caramel, the vanilla type of thing out of a typical bourbon. This one's got a little more oomph and savory to it, which is kind of interesting because this doesn't really taste like a true maybe bourbon to me. It's kind of got some herbal notes that go on there. I'm getting some pepper on the back of it now, getting the tobacco, getting the oak on it. If this is more of a hearty, meaty type of bourbon, is kind of the way I would describe this. It's almost got like a meaty richness to it. I'm almost getting some kind of a mintiness to this now as well. So this is very interesting. Typically when I'm thinking of a bourbon, I'm getting something that's a little bit more on the sweet side, where this almost kind of has kind of like a medicinal herbal, kind of like some of the Four Roses would have on it as well. I'm getting some of the spearmint from maybe the rye on there as well. I'm getting some of the malt on there. It's got about a medium to medium long finish on this. I mean, it's still finishing now, so you can chew on it for a while and you can get some different expressions and flavors out of it. It's definitely got, it presents a lot of different things is what I like. You get the tobacco, you're getting the oak. You don't, like I said, it's not an overwhelming sweet, so it's kind of like a light, deep brown sugar, but not like super, super sweet, just more of a super heavy sugary taste, brown sugary taste. And I kind of get this mint herbal note on the back of my palate, which is pretty interesting. It doesn't drink super proofy. I know I just went into a video yesterday that, you know, Baker's Drinks had challenged me. I keep saying Baker's Drinks, but it's Baker Drinks, but there's two of them, so I want to pluralize it now. So I always say Baker's Drinks, but it's Baker Drinks. You know, I was kind of going over one bourbon on there that I just think drinks super, super hot at 120. Where this at 122 proof, you know, you get that nice initial punch, but the more you sip on it, it just feels nicer and nicer as you go. The mouthfeel has a good mouthfeel to it. And I'm wondering if this is a bottle similar to another bottle that I had in that review, that as it opens up, I maybe like it more, but this got so many different things going on that are more on the savory side of things than on the sweet side of things. This is a little bit out of my wheelhouse of bourbons that I like, but I think that with the pepper that you get, the spearmint that you get, the oak that you get, the tobacco that you get, the kick on of just a tiny bit of brown sugar on it. That nose kind of reminds me of a nice malt, a single malt on there. Get a little bit of the chocolate on there and stuff, but you get a lot of the oak and the tobacco. So I think it's got a lot of complexity. It's just not in the wheelhouse of things that I prefer. And I tell people all the time, I'm more of a sweeter bourbon type of person. So if it's a sweeter bourbon and it has a lot of complexity, you're right in my wheelhouse. I think the proof point is really good on it. I think the complexity and the way that it changes is really good on it. I'd say it's a medium to long finish on it. It just, the way that I prefer my bourbon, which is sweeter, it doesn't kind of hit those notes for me. Doesn't mean it's a bad bourbon. No, it's just not my style of bourbon or flavor of bourbon. Like I said, it reminds me more of a malt with kind of a rye that goes along with it. So I'm going to let this open up a little bit more before we do the final Nevada challenge. And I'll see if it's worthy of going into one of the blind glasses. At the end of the day, what I'd like to do is have the 2 best Smoke Wagon and the 2 best Frey Ranch go in blind. And it doesn't matter if it's a bourbon or a rye, whatever's there is there. And hopefully it's one of each. Hopefully a rye and a bourbon on each. That way it kind of evens it up a little bit, and I'll see where I go. But this one, just a little bit different, just not quite in my wheelhouse, not kind of the things that I look for in a bourbon, but it's got some key indicators that I think if you like more of a savory bourbon, if you like the strong profile of the tobacco and some of the herbal notes and some of the oak notes with maybe something that's not so sweet, this could be right in your wheelhouse. It's just not right in my wheelhouse. Other than that, Friday Eve, so excited for the weekend. I hope you and your family had a great weekend last weekend. Hope you guys are getting ready for another fantastic weekend. Looking forward to getting some more things done. About finished with all my samples. Friday, I'm waiting for the last person, the person that got number 1 in the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I have not heard from yet. Heard from everybody else. So if I don't hear from this person by Friday evening, I'm going to call it. Number 2 will become number 1, and all the way down the line, we'll start getting some things out. I think you guys have all been great on it, and I absolutely appreciate your support. Y'all have an amazing night. Thank you for all you do, and God bless.